I think fame and Muscle Shoals music is here because we're fiercely independent. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot. We've always been there, and it's always been just been a phone call away.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Wednesday evening, live at 5 with your latest forecast update. It's been a warm, beautiful day across the Tennessee Valley with plenty of sunshine here on this Wednesday, but we do have big weather changes afoot later into the week and then extending into early next week as well. We have the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms Friday afternoon and evening, and then a turn to much colder air and maybe a few flurries in the forecast for early next week. We'll talk about the details going forward here. First off, we'll start with the Arctic Air Skycam Network and a beautiful fall sunset. You know, the one good thing about the time change that we've had is I get to show you these live sunsets here on the live show at 5 o'clock and beautiful fall sunset with just a few clouds working in with mostly clear skies this afternoon as we head into the evening here. And with the sunny skies today, temperatures have been able to warm, and they're still into the upper 60s and lower 70s for most of us here, feeling more like a September or early October afternoon in the early evening. And we'll keep these warm temperatures around through Friday and Saturday, and then big changes on the way with colder air going to make us feel more like January as we start early next week. Nothing on radar here with the live Doppler sweeps around, but we do have precipitation chances in the forecast. First, as I mentioned, Friday afternoon and evening with strong to severe thunderstorms possible. A few more showers on Saturday, and then maybe a flurry or two into the day on Monday. We'll talk about the details as we go forward. First off, we have a fizzling frontal boundary sliding into the area today, giving a few high thin clouds, but not much in the way of anything. And even though this is marked as a cold front, that's because that's what it was, but it's fizzling out. So it's not going to bring us any cooler or drier air. It will actually be a degree or two warmer for tomorrow, up into the mid 70s for many of us. I'll show you that here. Clear skies through the evening, but I do expect fog to become an issue during the late evening and overnight and extending on through the early morning hours again, similar to not what we had last night, but what we had the night before with fog across the area. So be aware as you have to travel out during the overnight and tomorrow morning, getting down into the low to mid 40s. For most of us for overnight lows with a light west-southwest wind. We're a little more southeasterly tomorrow, but still a bit of a southerly component. Plenty of sunshine around here. Barely a cloud in the sky. Daytime highs up into the mid-70s for most of us. And then into tomorrow night, mostly clear. A few more clouds toward daybreak. We're talking about upper 40s to lower 50s for overnight lows tomorrow night in through daybreak on our Friday morning. And it's probably a situation where we hit those lows before midnight and then temperatures rebound into the 50s as we head closer to daybreak as a southerly wind starts to take over. Now, during the afternoon and evening of Friday, there is that potential for a few strong to severe thunderstorms I was talking about. Storm Prediction Center Office of the National Weather Service has all of southern Middle Tennessee down into parts of North Alabama and Northeast Mississippi in a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe storms. And then south of that in green, a level 1 out of 5. Both of these are lower end risk categories. It's not a big severe storm threat, but there are just enough ingredients in place that we'll have to be on guard for maybe a few storms that try to go strong. Again, timing, I can't get specific yet, but afternoon and evening looks most likely. Tornado threat is not high at all, but I can't completely rule out a stray tornado or two. The low-level wind shear is the main lacking ingredient for a better tornado risk because the instability of the storm fuel has ticked up a little bit in the model data. It looks like we're going to get those low to mid-60 dew points coming up, so we have a little more storm fuel. And then the mid to upper level wind shear is favorable for even rotating updraft supercell thunderstorms instead of a solid line. And that increases the threat of up to quarter-size hail as well, and it makes the tornado threat not be zero despite the low-level shear being weak. But that spin in the atmosphere right in the lower levels of the atmosphere, it's really marginal for a tornado threat. It would have to trend upward for us to be looking at a day where we have a tornado watch and that type of thing. I think if we see a watch at all on Friday, it's probably a severe thunderstorm watch, unless the low-level shear trends up. We'll be watching that. I do want to bring it to your attention that there could be some stronger storms, but it's nothing to be scared of. It's nothing to be alarmed by. This is typical stuff we deal with here in November. It is severe weather season. Keep in mind, here in the Tennessee Valley, you may not think of it because we start seeing cooler air, but it's the jet stream that brings those upper level systems that also brings the cooler air. Before the cooler air moves in, we can sometimes see a clash of the air masses, and we see strong to severe thunderstorms sometimes during the fall and the winter months, not just spring. So if you're new to the Tennessee Valley, yes, this is a normal thing we deal with during the months of November, December, January, and February, not just March, April, and May. It's nothing to be scared of. Just have your plan in place, know what to do if a warning is issued, then pay attention. We'll be here to cover it if there are warnings, but not expecting a big deal. Main threats, a few storms having gusty straight line winds and maybe hail up to quarter size. Not really expecting a flooding threat because we're not looking at several rounds of heavy rain, and it's been a while since we've had a lot of heavy rain. The ground can absorb what little bit of heavy rain we will have, and we'll look out for the low risk of a brief tornado or two, but not looking at a big tornado situation. But we'll be here to watch it. Again, afternoon and evening is the prime time for that. Front really doesn't push fully through. We have more showers scattered around and maybe a rumble or two of thunder on Saturday afternoon. Not expecting severe storms because the instability does move out with the Friday system. We won't have the same ingredients for Saturday, but it's this front that comes through Saturday night and the Sunday morning that brings the switch to cooler air. Can't completely rule out a stray shower as we head into Sunday, but I think that's much less likely. The moisture is moving out, but that's going to be a turn to cooler air and much colder as we head into the beginning of next week. Here's the temperature trend here for the next 7 days. We go from the low to mid 70s from now through Saturday. Big cold front after that. Low to mid 50s for highs on Sunday. We've had the trend downward. This 41 I have on Monday, I may need to drop that. There is very real potential that we stay in just the mid to upper 30s for daytime high temperatures on Monday. After starting in the upper 20s, mid to upper 20s on Monday morning, we were easing closer to the lower 30s. We've had to drop that as well. Looks like the first freeze is not going to be Monday night, but it's going to be Sunday night. But even colder Monday night into Tuesday morning, mid-20s is a midpoint average between southern Tennessee, North Alabama. I think there are some isolated lower 20s over parts of Tennessee, but it is a quick rebound, and we're talking about highs back in the lower 60s as quickly as the middle of next week. But again, much colder air to begin the week next week. Highs only in the upper 30s to lower 40s on Monday. It will be breezy with wind gusts as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour during the day out of the northwest. That's going to keep wind chill values Monday into the upper 20s all day. So that's what it's going to feel like to your body outside. And then a widespread hard freeze is likely Monday night. Not quite low enough for you to need to drip the faucets indoors unless you have problems with the pipes not being insulated, and maybe you live in a mobile home where air can get up under there and directly hit the pipes. Then you may need to drip indoors, but you do need to cover your faucets outside, and I would do that Sunday because we will drop it to the mid to upper 20s Sunday night. And then with some wraparound moisture coming in with the colder air, the potential for some light flurries continues for Monday. Still not talking about anything sticking because the air will be so dry and we will get above freezing during the day. So that means no travel problems, no impacts in a local area, no accumulation. I know some school systems are out Monday and Tuesday because of Veterans Day and in-service days. If you're a school system that will be open Monday and Tuesday, this will not affect school closings or anything like that. It's just flakes flying, but there may be a few across the area. The big deal early next week is going to be the cold and the first widespread hard freeze of the season that closes out the growing season here in the Tennessee Valley. Low to mid 40s, a few isolated upper 40s overnight for tonight with clear skies around. We're headed back to the mid 70s tomorrow with plenty of sunshine here across the Tennessee Valley. We'll be back to the low to mid 70s for Friday as well, but afternoon and evening strong storms. We'll be on the watch for that. The chance of a few more showers Saturday. A break in that on Sunday, but turning colder, and then cold, windy, and a few flurries around on Monday. And then we are on an uphill trend for the middle of next week. Veterans Day, we start downright cold in the low to mid 20s across southern middle Tennessee and mid to upper 20s. In North Alabama that morning, we're into the mid 50s by the afternoon, but we're back to 60 degrees by the middle of next week. That's the Look at Your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.